Kambar compares him with a lotus which has just bloomed. A fresh lotus. His face was like that because there was no worry or no change of expression. When he was told he was supposed to become the king, he was quite calm. Similarly, when he is denied the kingdom, he is quite calm. When he asked to go to the forest, he is calm. It shows his equanimity and his wonderful nature as the king of Ayodhya. Padmapatra Visalaksha Padmanabha Surottama describes Vishnu Sahasranama. Mahalakshmi, Tayar as we call, she was born out of a lotus, a golden lotus. She's called Padmavati because of that. Once, when Lord Narayana came in the guise of Surya, that was the time Alamelu Manga was so happy that she wanted to come and see him. She became lotuses. She wanted to see his beauty, so she came and she became so many lotuses, a crore of lotuses, and that is why, probably she is lotus herself. She is normally seated on a lotus. We have so many other gods and goddesses seated on a lotus. We have Balatripura Sundari who is seated on a white lotus. We have Saraswati who is seated on a white lotus. Similarly, so many lords. We have Lord Vinayaka who has got a lotus in his hand. So lotus is part and parcel of divinity. Padmamukhim Padmanabha Priyam Ramam Padmamaladharam. Description of Shri. Padmapriye Padmini Padmahaste Padmalaye Padmatalaya Dakshi. Description of our beautiful Padmavati. About Lord Krishna, Adbhutam Balagam Ambusesham Krishna, they say. The beauty of Krishna as a child. There's again a comparison with the lotus. Andal describes the beauty of the Lord. And in a 22nd Pasuram, Anganma Nyala Tarasar, Abhimana Pangamai Vandanin Pallikattirkil, Sangam Irupar Vandu Talai Peidom, Kingini Vaicheda Tamarai Pupole, Sengan Sirichirade Emmel Viriavo, Tingalum Adityanum Erundar Pol, Angan Irandum Konde Engal Mail Nokidel, Engal Mail Savam Irindelor Embavai. She is referring to the kings who have surrendered to Lord Krishna after doing lot of mistakes. They have realized their mistakes and they have come and surrendered. But Krishna wants to test him. He is little skeptical and doubtful about whether they are sincere or not. So he is waiting. He is not closing his eyes, neither is he opening it fully. She wants him to open the eyes, open his eyes wide, and then bless her so that they are free from any kind of sins. At the same time, she describes his eyes as similar to lotuses, and also she says that, his eyes are half closed and half open. Normally, a lotus blooms in sunlight and it closes when there is no sun. Similarly, Krishna seems to be opening his eyes and closing it, not giving a proper vision, not looking at us properly. That is her feeling. And moreover, she is comparing his eyes to a kingini, which is nothing but something which has got half mouth, it is half open. You can see it as part of the anklet, in which, we just try to screw up the anklets. In that place, you can find the small kingini, which is a metallic item. She describes the eyes of Krishna as similar to lotuses. We have Abhita Kuchamba. In her Abhita Kuchamba Stava, it is being said that she is playfully holding a lotus which will solve our problems, and she has got soft red feet which resemble lotuses, and she will grant us boons. She will free us from all diseases. That is what is very important. Lord Kartigeya was born in lotuses in Saravana Poige. We have Potramare Kulam, in which Indra worships Lord Shiva in the pond which has got the gold lotus, the golden lotus. In Vaidyanatha Ashtagam, Lord Shiva is being referred to as Padambuja, the feet of the Lord, is being referred to as one similar to lotus. I would like to share with you what Kambar has said while describing about the beauty of the countryside. Selunda Vankanarin திரிகின்ற செங்கால் அன்னம் மாலுண்ட நளின பள்ளி வளர்த்திய மழலை பிள்ளை காலுண்ட சேற்று மேதி கன்று உள்ளிக் கணைப்பது சோர்ந்த பால் உண்டு துயிலும் பச்சை தேரை தாலாட்டும் பண்ணை. The beauty of the countryside is such that we have the swan which has got his babies. The babies are lying on the lotus. We have a round in the center of the lotus which is beautiful and which resembles a bed. So the little ones of the swan are lying there. We have the calves which are crying for milk. They are not here, they are away from the mother. The mother is having the urge to feed it, but because she is away, she feeds the little ones of the swan. They happily drink the milk and sleep, and the lullaby is being sung by the frogs and toads which are in the countryside. It depicts the beauty of both the lotus and also the countryside. There is another poem written by my grandfather Sri Kothamangalam Subbu with reference to the beauty of God's wonderful creation, the lotus. சித்திர விசித்திரங்களை எத்தனை இருக்குதென்று செங்கமல பூவில் மணிமேடை பார், அதில் முத்தினை இழைத்து வைத்து சுத்தி பட்டு குஞ்சம் கட்டி மெத்தன மனத்தை வைத்த சிற்பியார். Who is the sculptor who has made such a beautiful flower? Look at the beauty of the lotus. It is so wonderful. It is a miracle. He says Chittara Vijitrangal. It's so picture. I mean, it's like a beautiful picture. And not only that, it is something that is miraculous and beautiful. It talks about the bed, the round bed that we were talking about earlier, which is part of the lotus. And he is also saying, like we have the, the tassels for the sari. Similar to that, it is like pearls which are attached to the lotus. So it is such a beautiful flower. He is trying to find out who has created such a beautiful flower, and he is praising God for his wonderful creation. We have Kamalavalli Nachiyar as one of the goddesses in a place called Vorayur, Pankajavalli Tayar as consort of Pundarikakshan in Tiruchi, like so many gods and goddesses who have the name of lotus or tamarai. Bharatiyar, Subramanya Bharati, describes Saraswati as sitting on the white lotus. Just like he says we are able to see Saraswati in the sound of the veena, he also describes once we see a white flower, we are able to associate it with white lotus, we are able to associate it with the goddess. Just like to share with you one story of Guruvayurappa. Guruvayurappan has got a lotus flower in his hand. A lady from Andhra wanted to get darshan of the feet of Lord Guruvayurappa. She was constantly contemplating on the lotus feet of the Lord. She went for darshan. It was a very difficult day. It was extremely crowded. She had to leave the next day. She had no other possibility of seeing the Lord. She was crying. She was desperate. She wanted to go back because there was no point in waiting. She was disappointed. At that time, a person came and said, the manager of the temple is calling you. She said, I don't know anybody here. I don't understand your language. But he just took her and showed her to the manager. The manager said, go and give her a VIP darshan. She was so able to get a beautiful darshan of the Lord, and she was contemplating on the lotus feet and she was able to see it. She waited there for 5 minutes, had a beautiful darshan. Despite the crowd, she went back home. And within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, she sent a letter with 2 silk dhotis to the people who helped her. The others realized that the manager was on leave on that day and there was no person who came and took her. It was only Lord Guruvayurappa's wish that she prostrated on his lotus feet. Today we have seen about the glory of lotus, which is a remarkable flower. It is such a beautiful flower, dignified flower. I would like to mention special thanks to my Atte, Lakshmi Ramachandran, who helped me with my grandfather's poem and also the special poem of Kambar. Special thanks to her. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Hoping to meet you all next week.